Getting to witness God work is so exciting. We have been a witness the last few years, getting to see him work. There'll be slow times. There'll be times where you think that you're the only one. Then Brother John, he starts pouring it on. When he pours it on you, there's no denying it. The power of God. There's no denying. Today we preached yesterday, and Brother Tim, Sister Andrea, and Sister Carla's gonna get a little bit of what they got yesterday. Leftovers. Sister Carla says.
Yep.
You know, but the Lord's the microwave, he'll warm them up for them if they'll listen and open their hearts. It'll be good second time. Maybe if I can deliver it, Brother Cole. That sound good, Brother Cole. Sounds good. We
It does.
this morning, I've always got a million things running through my head. It's like a circus up there. Carla's been with me almost 30 years, and she's just now starting to understand how chaotic it really is, Tim, to be in my head for just a few moments. The other day, she mouthed me about being quiet all the time. I said, well, if I wasn't quiet, who'd be listening to all the voices in my head? Because understanding there's a lot going on up there sometimes. And today we know that if I listen to God's voice, it'll go all right. Mm-hmm. Brother Keith, when I stood up yesterday, Brother Lonnie, wonderful little man, gave me this great introduction to him, and he built me up to be somebody. And Brother Bobby, I stood and I said, to stand before you, I can't live up to what Brother Lonnie said. I said, I stand before you as an alcoholic. I stand before you as a man that didn't treat his wife right. I stand before you, Brother Keith, as a man that gave his kids just enough attention to make them mine. I stand before you as a man that put everything in front of his family and everything in front of God. That's who I am. That's who I am. Don, there's no denying it. That's Dale. But that night in that old-fashioned altar, Brother Joe, God took Dale and he cleaned him up from the inside. And these things that is Dale started getting smaller. That very night he took the drinking. But God took this and he made something, Doug, that he could work with. I'm the sorriest one here. There's nothing special about me, Cole. I get up here and I just pour my heart out. What God gives me, I try to give you. I try to keep myself in the back burner. If I allow Dale to get up here, Tim, he's going to tell jokes and he's going to talk about deer hunting. And I do that a lot in my ministry anyway. But if I just let Dale do it, Cole, that's all we're going to have. If I just let Dale get up here, Doug, he's liable to talk bad about somebody, or he's liable to be mad and venting about driving through Boxley, Tim. Driving through Boxley, by the time you get through Boxley going to church, you need church. Driving through Harrison's nothing, driving through Fayetteville's nothing. But you're driving down the road, the speed limit's 55, and you're doing 15, Keith, and stopping every half mile for 5 minutes. It's hard to keep my redneck hid. I come up here, Doug, a lot with my shirt buttoned up and a tie on, and trying to hide that redneck. So this is there. And it comes out that fast. That fast sometimes. And Keith, you know I'm pretty transparent. It was said the other night. I pretty well will just give you what I have, and we'll go from there. But today, my message is going to be whosoever. The whosoever. We preach many times about this and that, Doug. We preach about Christ, and Christ is in every message, and he'll be in this one. We preach about what Paul wrote to the churches. We preach about this, and so often we give a very specific name, a very specific title, but this one is whosoever. If we turn to 1 John, and I'm just going to be back and forth several different places. It might not be feasible to keep up with me, so just write it down and make a note of it. Go back and rewind the video and see it. But 1 John chapter 3, verse 1, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for the sin is the transgression of the law. Verse 6, chapter 3, whosoever abideth in him sinneth not, but whosoever sinneth has not seen him, neither know him. Whosoever. Yep. Whosoever knows him, whosoever puts him first, John, is in God's will. Whosoever sins. Brother Joe, as lost as a goose. Whosoever. Oh, we wake up each morning and decide whosoever we're going to be. Mm-hmm. We do. Whosoever. Are we going to be the whosoever? Are we going to wake up and be the whosoever? Whosoever is an alcoholic. That was Dale. Whosoever has filth in his house. That was Dale. Whosoever. Which whosoever are we going to be, Joe? We wake up this morning and we're going to say, whosoever, go to church. And today, I got to admit, I wasn't feeling good. And it'd been awful easy to go knock on Lane's door and say, Lane, I ain't feeling good. You go to church, take my stead. But you know what? I missed out.
You would have.
Whosoever oftentimes turns to the flesh.
Yep.
Right there. That right there, Cole. Mine's a little weathered, scarred. But that flesh is not going to enter the kingdom of heaven. It cannot. Today, if we live by the flesh, if we live by the world, Brother Bobby, we cannot enter in. Dakota and I was talking in there a while ago, asked a question. Speaking of weapons formed against thee, how they cannot stand, how they'll never prevail. Yep. And I said, well, one thing you've got to realize that we're talking about this spiritually, and this flesh really doesn't matter, Doug. If they form a sword and take off your head, guess what? They just sent you to paradise. Yep. If you're in God. Whatever they use against us cannot win. Yep. Because then we've got God. Whosoever turns to God shall be saved. It's easy. We talk about it all the time. Romans. Let me find Romans. Chapter 10. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Turn to Mark. Chapter 8. Verse 35. Whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my name's sake and the gospel's, then the same shall be saved. Luke 9:37. Whosoever shall receive one such of children in my name, and receiveth me, and whosoever shall receiveth me, receiveth not me, but him that sent me, receives God. 41. Whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because ye belong to Christ, verily I say unto you, ye shall not lose your reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him to be hanged with a millstone about his neck, and he were cast into the sea. Whosoever. Whosoever. Which whosoever are we? Which whosoever are we today? If we got up this morning, Don, we made a choice to be here. We made a choice that whosoever is going to go to church. I am whosoever, Doug. And sometimes whosoever gets mad in Moxley. Whosoever loses that battle. That's what Lane said one morning. He's going to work. Dakota was coming around through there about to pull off Boxley, and they had the whole road blocked, and I was trying to get to town, and I laid on the horn. That old Ford has the horn like a freight train. And Cole, I didn't just toot real polite. I laid on the horn until I got through the traffic. We're talking a half a mile, that horn of blaring. And as soon as we got stopped, or got past and it calmed down, Lane said, you lost that battle, didn't you?
How many times does that happen to all of us?
Exactly. Whosoever we choose today, each moment, whosoever we are going to let show. Are we going to let the flesh win, or are we going to let the Spirit of God show through us? Whosoever. Whosoever is a broad term. Because right there in Mark, whosoever was good, and then whosoever was bad. Yeah. In the next one. The very next verse, whosoever accepts my God, whosoever accepts those sent by me, whosoever offends these, the next verse. And that's the way we are. Whosoever, Brother Bobby. 1 minute we can be talking of God. 1 minute we can be doing good. The next minute, when they're sitting on their cell phone in the stoplight in front of us, and you know they're on their phone, and they waited an extra 20 seconds, Cole, to get on the gas. Whosoever, if the flesh wins, you're mad.
They don't even hide it anymore.
Don't, no. Today we know that we allow to get to us. Because if we lean on the flesh is going to win. But if we lean spiritually, I talked to a guy, best friend, father figure, whatever you want to call him, up in Rogers this week, and he was tickled. He said, you know what, I was getting gas, and he said, this guy come around the back of his car and come up to me, and he said, you know Jesus? And it tickled me to death. I told him, I said, he must have been coming to my church, because I've been preaching about being a gas pump preacher. He said, it was so good. He said, it made me feel so good that he come. That he loved me enough, Keith, to ask, do I know Jesus? And I'm sure that guy's flesh was telling me, you don't know that guy. He's liable to cuss you or rock you or shoot at you. But instead, he allowed the Spirit to guide him. Whosoever are we going to be today? Are we going to allow the flesh to win? Got to pick on the girls. Diane said, let's get up and sing. Granny. Just like they was 6. Granny, no. And they got up here and sung. But they was blessed when they sung. Because the flesh didn't want to get up here. And they finally give in to the Spirit and listen to Granny and got up here and sang beautifully. 4 generations. That's not heard of in most churches. 4 generations getting up together. I know little Wren wasn't doing much singing, but she turned around and make eyes at me and just make me melt. And you ain't going to stand a chance. You never with her, will you? Today, we know that if we let the flesh win, torment's coming. Yep. There's no 2 ways about it. Yep. If we allow the flesh to win, because we want to do the things of the flesh, we want to be comfortable. It's comfortable, Doug, to sleep in till 10 o'clock and get up and go to Walmart. Comfortable. That's what you've done for 15 years. In the flesh, sometimes, I'm sure when that alarm goes off, you're slapping, Lou's not wanting to get up. Even me and Sister Carla this morning didn't want to get out of the bed. Laid there, and my little dog's got to where she got to have it. When the alarm goes off, she comes and makes sure I get up. And we laid there and fooled with dogs for 30 minutes before we got up. She finally said, I got to get up and get this done. But the flesh is weak. Yep. We've always laughed. Some of you ain't heard it, so I'll tell it again. How many has stood there in Walmart or in the grocery store in line behind the coupon lady? just got a gallon of milk, Doug, and trying to get home. She's got 12 items and 27 coupons. And half of them's expired. And you gotta stand there and wait on her. Beep, beep. She might save 28 cents. I'd give her the 28 cents to get out of the way. Are we gonna let the flesh win and we get aggravated at her? We're gonna let the things of God. Are we gonna be the whosoever that stands there and grins and maybe find somebody to talk to? It depends on what mood I'm in. Depends on how my day has went, Cole. Sometimes the which one I let win. I let the flesh win a lot. Ask Carla, she'll tell you.
They block the aisle in Walmart.
Yeah, I got mad, Tim. Of course, they had somebody stocking or gathering groceries for somebody else, blocking half the aisle. This girl had the parked right beside him, had the whole aisle blocked, looking at a loaf of bread. Carla squeezed between them, and I was pushing the cart. After a couple of minutes, Carla finally said, "Will you move and let him through?" And she said, "Oh, okay." And she moved up and set her cart in the middle of the aisle and went back to looking at the bread. And I still sat there, you know? And I still sat there. And after a couple more minutes, I finally said, pretty loud, "She asked you to move so I could get through." Embarrassed Carla.
You lost that one.
I lost that one battle. Because people are so rude. I hate Sam's. I hate Northwest Arkansas. Going up there, Tim, trying to do anything. We've got a lot of good friends up there. There's a lot of good people up there, but Doug, there are so many rude people. And they're living by the flesh. They don't care that they're blocking the aisle, family. They're not concerned about your life. They're not concerned about your time. They are worried about what's going on in their own little box. Can you make a box? Today, so many people are in their own little world, living by the flesh.
Yeah.
Today, which one are we going to be? Because God set it up that whosoever can make it to heaven.
Yeah.
We know today that God set it up that each and every one has a chance. You don't have to be rich. If you had to be rich, John, most of us would be out of luck. Don't have to be good looking. But some of you would be out of luck. Tim. You can't inherit it. But whosoever can do it. Whosoever. John chapter 3, verse 14. And Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of God be lifted.
Yeah.
That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Whosoever, Miss Jewel. Whosoever. That includes you, that includes me.
Yeah.
Whosoever. Don't you want to be on that side of the whosoever? I want to be. Sister June, we go and we ask. Those that whosoever shall ask shall receive. Whosoever, Doug, whosoever. Somebody as ugly as you can make it to heaven. Somebody as sorry as us can make it to heaven.
Yeah.
Because Christ said, whosoever.
Yeah.
He died for whosoever, Ken. So that whosoever like me, whosoever like you, has a home in heaven.
Yeah.
You sang a song a while ago. Brother D said it was his number 2 song. I heard him tell you a while ago. We never grow old.
Yeah.
I've got the pages wore out. Most of these books will open to 88. He's promised us a place where we'll never grow old. We won't have no aches and pains. There'll be no cancer. There'll be no COVID. It says God will wipe away our tears.
Yeah.
sing an old song, no tears in heaven,
Yep.
no sorrow here. All will be glory in that land. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't know how long I've got. I may have another 50 years. It's not likely, the life I've lived, the punishment I've put my body through, Jim. But if it's today, I'm ready. I want everybody to be ready. Whosoever. Oh, whosoever can do it. We've got loved ones. We've seen loved ones come in, but we've got more
Yep.
that have the same chance as we do. Everybody, men especially, say, I've done too much. My book says, whosoever is a drunkard can be saved.
Yep.
Whosoever murdered can be saved. Whosoever went to war for their country and killed can be saved. Whosoever had that accident can be saved. Whosoever lied and cheated can be saved. Whosoever has turned his back from his family can be saved. Whosoever murdered an unborn child can be saved.
Yep.
Whosoever. Whosoever.
Yep.
Whosoever has a chance. Whosoever has a home in heaven if they'll come and they'll apply the blood of Jesus Christ to their life. Whosoever. Today, that's where we're at. That's what we need. We need to allow Christ to come in. Whosoever can come to an altar. Whosoever can kneel down by their bed. Whosoever can be saved going down the road. Whosoever can get it in their recliner. Whosoever, because God is with you wherever you're at. If you'll ask Him today, whosoever.
Yep.
Because we know, I've been there. I was the one that said, no, the church house will fall in if I go in. Doug, you told me the same thing. Whosoever can come in that church house. Whosoever can make their way to an altar of repentance. You said 6 months ago you never dreamed of having what you've got now. That's my God. My God lives.
Yep.
So that whosoever can come to Him. So that whosoever can have that home in eternity. So that whosoever can have a complete home with father and mother and children all saved. Whosoever.
Yep.
That's my God. Working down there at that Buddhist colony, and they're loving people, they really are. But they have no clue. Because they're worshiping a God that's dead.
Yep.
You go down there and they can show you where his tomb is. They can take you down there and show you the bones of Muhammad. But Cole, the tomb of my God is empty. Because he rose on that third day. And he lived today. If it wasn't for the resurrection, Doug, there'd be no hope for the rest of us. But he was the resurrection. He is the resurrection. He is the light. And we can go to be with him.
Yep.
Whosoever. Whosoever. Isn't that a wonderful thought? Today, let's stand. I don't know anyone's heart.